Today we're going to be doing a review on Heineken, their traditional beer versus their newer zero alcohol content beer.
Heineken's a very, very popular beer. I'm sure a lot of people have tried this beer before. I've definitely had it many, many times. It's a lager, light, well-balanced. So I haven't had it in a little bit, so I'm excited to try it again and then compare it to the new 0.0 Heineken. There's a lot of heavy marketing on this product here. If you watch European football or soccer, you'll see like at all the games, it's always being advertised. They also spent a lot of time perfecting the formula. The master brewer, he said it took 2 years to get the formula perfect.
I honestly didn't even know this existed, Heineken 0.0. So I don't know, like how long. So do you know how long it's been out in the market for?
Maybe 2 years.
Been out for 2 years. Yeah, I had no clue. Whenever I do drink beer, honestly, Heineken is one of them that I usually lean towards. So at least I know what I'm expecting with the Heineken. I do actually like the beer. One tip that might help out. I went to literally just a gas station that had like a small liquor section, and I did find this. So it is in Michigan, for example. You can find these. So I would imagine it's in good distribution, basically almost maybe wherever you can find Heineken, you can find the no alcohol version, which is good. A lot of the no products that we're talking about, sometimes you're having a hard time finding them. So that's a nice convenient thing, is that it's accessible and it's in distribution.
Over here, it's definitely the same. It's widely available. You could basically get this at any grocery store that you go to.
So in Europe, they must have a greater demand for non-alcoholic, right?
I was doing a little research online. They're saying in certain countries, I think 10% of beer sales are non-alcoholic now. It's definitely growing.
Wow.
And I think over the next few years, like it's going to start to go global a lot more. I say we crack these bottles open, we try them.
All right.
So the first one I'm pouring is the regular Heineken.
Okay. You got appropriate glasses. I feel like I'm in like England. I'm not doing a proper pour at all. You can see. I'm not a beer drinker. I hope that's not going to affect the flavor. And I actually went to the Guinness, like the factory where they teach you how to pour.
Yeah, and you didn't learn anything. It looks like.
I did. Well, it was a while ago, obviously.
Yeah. So
color.
These are the two beers. Like color and carbonation looks like almost identical to the eye.
It does. I can't tell the difference between the two. Beers.
You're gonna have to like.
Other than the freaking head on them, look.
You're gonna have to wait. You're gonna have to wait a little bit to let them settle.
We're gonna have to cut this and wait. In the one with alcohol, I do smell something different. It's a slight difference. The non-alcoholic one smells cleaner, I guess. The one with alcohol, I get like a yeasty smell to it. Other than that, they're very, very similar. Like it's.
Which one do you want to taste first? Do you want to taste the alcoholic one?
Let's do the alcoholic one. That's what we're traditionally used to. I'm used to, anyways. So we'll give that a shot.
Okay.
Cheers.
Cheers. Very light. It's balanced. A little bit of fruitiness. A little bit of bitterness.
It does a great job here. You ready for the next one?
Yep. Let's do it. So just so you guys know, I've never tasted this before. I don't believe you ever have either, right?
Neither have I.
So it's our first time ever tasting it right now. I don't think I could tell the difference much at all with the flavor.
I'm really trying to find something different here, and it's hard.
I think I found maybe one thing: the alcoholic Heineken sits on your tongue a little bit longer, and it lingers in your mouth a little bit longer. This one here, it doesn't last as long.
Yes, the finish fades a lot quicker. Like I guess it's a little bit less body. Definitely not a watered down version. It's literally very comparable.
Unless you drink Heineken like every single day, you wouldn't really be able to tell the difference between this. If you gave it to me at a bar, I definitely wouldn't be able to tell the difference. Tastes great. The mouth feels pretty good. Um, Heineken was never like my go-to beer, but they did an excellent job on this. This makes me excited to taste a lot of the microbreweries that are making non-alcoholic beers. I'm excited to see what they're up to because Heineken themselves did a wonderful job.
Whenever we review anything else, if it's wine or if it's spirits, there's a considerable difference, and we're often saying you can't make the comparison because it's not the same. This here is the exact opposite. It's like the same. Like the calorie content, like you're looking at the zero alcohol has 69 calories versus the traditional with alcohol has 142. It's got half the calories in it. So health wise, it's definitely calorie intake is lower. The only difference is, and I think might be a benefit to certain people, is if you do not like the aftertaste that stays in your mouth for a long time when you're drinking beer, this I think is a great option because it quickly goes away. Like now I understand why it took 2 years to develop. Like,
Well, they try to get it perfect. I have one question for you. The price, was there a difference? Was it the same price, or was there a difference in the price?
for a 6-pack of the regular alcohol, it was I believe $7.99 for a 6-pack, and for the non-alcoholic it was $8.49. So it was 50-cent difference. So it's actually more expensive but you're talking about 50 cents. So it's pretty much the same.
And so we've been drinking now this both beers for about 30 minutes, and we're coming close to the end here. We both prefer the non-alcoholic one very much so over the alcoholic one for a specific reason for both of us. And it's that aftertaste, especially when you're drinking just one beer and you're holding it for a while, you're sipping on it, and it's not as ice cold as it was before. Every sip, that lingering like beer taste, I kind of like, I like it less every time I sip it. And then by the time it's the end of the beer, I'm kind of like, I'm not really liking this taste too much anymore. This beer, on the other hand, the aftertaste doesn't linger at all. I'm not a big beer drinker, but I do enjoy beer. So I don't know how this would relate to everyone that's a big time beer drinkers, but for me, I really like this aspect of the non-alcoholic beer.
Really, this is really cool because we never thought about this before, but not just judging it based on the immediate first couple minutes when you're drinking is like the actual experience, because this is really how you consume it, right? You go to a bar, you have it at home, you have a couple of these things, you consume these over hours, right? What we just talked on, for me also, not a big huge beer drinker, and I think this is one of the reasons why, because you get that like beer breath after a while. It's not, to me, favorable. It's something I'd rather not have during the experience. The regular beer, it builds, like that aftertaste after drinking so many times, it gets more powerful to the point where it's overbearing. And if you don't like if you don't like it, like to me, it just doesn't taste, it's not appealing to me. When you drink this thing, it's like it cleanses what I'm drinking here, right? I drink this right after I drink it. I'm like, oh, wow, that was nice and smooth, and it cleans your palate. Nothing left in the glass right now. It's freaking like room temperature, and it goes down good. Like there's no bad aftertaste on it. Like I'm impressed, man. Like that hands down is the biggest factor that you're gonna notice the difference of, and you can't tell when you pop the caps off and they're both ice cold. It's gonna be at the end of the beer. The bottom freaking zip is the last.
Definitely go to your local grocery store or gas station or wherever you guys got to go to get this, and do this taste test that we just did. The alcoholic versus the non-alcoholic Heineken. We think it's really cool to see the differences, the very small differences, and how similar they are, and how good of a job they did with the 0.0. We definitely recommend checking it out, guys.